All right. What is up, everybody? As you can probably already tell, we're going to be doing things just a little bit different today. Um, if you watched the previous video, then you know that what I was about to do was go fight the stray demon, who lurks below the first boss that we ever played. And wow, that's some pretty bad screen tearing. Oh well. So what ended up happening is as we're gonna see upcoming here, yeah, we're gonna die actually quite a few times before we learn the general tactic or a good technique for taking on this boss. Um, just as kind of a general tip as far as taking on Dark Souls bosses, you really want to learn their attack pattern and learn when it's safe to attack, and if you're when it's safe to attack, and I guess that's basically the only rule. I kind of trail off there, but yeah, just learn techniques, learn how to fight them, and this is gonna take a couple tries. As you can see here, I'm gonna die. Coming up probably in a couple seconds. I ended up getting pretty far at one point, and thought that was gonna be the time, um, but it didn't turn out to be. Don't worry, the video will go back to normal speed the whenever I go to fight him, and then we actually end up winning. Yeah, spoiler for the end of the video, we end up beating this boss. Big surprise there. Not much to really say through these parts other than like I keep dying right in the beginning of the boss fight, and that's partially due to as soon as you drop down in there, there is fall damage, which took about maybe a third of my health or vitality down just from the get-go. So it was a little difficult to recover from something like that, right off the bat when you're not used to dealing with such low vitality. So what I usually ended up doing was flasking right as I got down in there, and if you're careful, you can get away with it. Uh, if you're wondering, I did actually switch shields before going into this boss, just to kind of note. The shield I had before going in was the Night Shield, and I had that equipped because it gave me more stability. I could be more kind of rock steady during and taking hits and stuff like that. I have the Wolf's Ring on, which did increase my poise, and I was just looking for something that I could definitely hold my ground because I knew he was going to be a heavy hitter. What I did forget though is that he has a magic attack where he casts basically like an explosion. You can kind of see it kind of glowing here in this part of the vid, but so I definitely needed a shield that would resist magic a lot better than that one, because the Knight's Shield isn't very good at resisting too much magic. So yeah, what I did, as you can kind of see, is I equipped that. Keep stumbling over my words here. I keep that crest shield equipped. That's what it was. And so it has a pretty high magic resistance. Okay, so here we go. Here's an actual the actual boss fight that we do. We actually win. And the unfortunate part about this video that we're watching is that for some reason the audio got delayed about a second or two. So it seems off. It's not wrong with your computer. It's mine, and I don't know what the deal is. But we'll get it worked out, so don't worry. Something that I didn't take care of before I jumped down in here was there are two scrubs lurking above ground, and then when the ground gives way, they kind of fall down. It wasn't a big deal for me this round because the magic attack that he casts actually will kill them. So they kind of got taken out right in the beginning, and I didn't have to deal with them. But if you're ever going to do this fight, I highly recommend you taking them down before you jump down here. I know if you're like me, you have done several attempts at this boss fight, and especially if you're this early in the game, dealing out mosquito bites on this guy, which is basically what I'm doing. You definitely want all the advantage you can have. And so you saw right there, that was a blast from that magic attack hitting me. It took my health down just a little bit, but it took all my stamina. so you can kind of see here what I'm doing is I stay behind him when he casts that magic attack, and I go back and put my shield up just as kind of a precautionary measure. And then whenever he's kind of recoiling or recovering from that, I rush up and do a two-handed couple slashes on his backside to get my 2 hits in. You know, generally per time he does that attack, I'll do two swipes at him to deal my damage. And this is the kind of method that, and there's his butt stomp. And this is the method that I kind of stick to because I learned that when I was versing him the previous times, is like, yeah, man, if he's kind of stalled a little bit, I'm going to go in and get my hits in on him. But you really have to be careful because he does have not very many, but just a couple, just a couple moves where you can't really see them coming. A couple of little surprise moves that would just get you and KO you in one hit. Another move to be scared of is this butt stomp. Generally you're pretty safe if he does that move, just kind of back up. And I imagine you can even go in for a hit once he lands. But I made sure just to stay clear of that move altogether. And that's mainly because if you're under him when he does that, there's another hit from the shockwave. Excuse me. So if you're ever under him and when he does the butt stomp, it KO'd me in one hit. So I would just be careful if it was you. You may have better armor than me, maybe better shield or something going on. So sure, you could maybe withstand it, but I wasn't doing so good in that area, so I made sure to back off quite a bit, while he was doing that butt stomp move, even though, like I just mentioned, you could probably sneak in and get a shot off or two while he's doing that. Just as a kind of general note, my tactic for this was avoid him generally, and just keep circling, keep out of his kind of reticle, if you will. You know, don't let him focus in on you. If he squares in on you and plants a couple hits and staggers you, he's going to slam you again, and that's another almost instant KO. So my general tactic for this fight was to only go in for 2 flashes whenever he does that magic attack. You can see right here, I'm backing off and coming in, backing off and coming in. And then whenever he does something different, like that sway, yeah, see there, here's a really close call where I just got caught off guard with that magic attack. You can see I'm going to back way off and flask up. So that move, actually, the butt stomp, is a perfect opportunity for you to flask if you need to. But see, there's another unpredictable move. He's going to do that swipe. Another one we saw a couple seconds ago was his like sachet or his jump across the arena. You don't really know when that's going to come. And so the only thing you can really predict very well in this match is that magic attack, because he telegraphs it like all too well. You see that magic attack coming, give him some breathing room, maybe a little over the tail's length, you know, maybe a yard or 2 past his tail. Go in, get your 2 swipes, and then back off, you know. And so you can kind of see me. This is what I'm doing. Luckily it's easy to switch between, you know, 2-handing my Drake sword and having my shield up. And even when I back off like that, and my shield goes up, you know, I'm just being careful as much as possible. I could roll in and roll out fairly quickly, maybe get an extra hit in, maybe if I was like really good. But I just really want to be careful. You never want to get in a rush with any of these boss fights, because look, I got his health down, you know, definitely under half, you know, going on the 1/3, going on 1/4. These are not the times to be taking a little more risks and changing your game up, because once you have an attack pattern down, and like this, you can I basically knew at this point that I had this fight in the bag. And now, was I really fighting like that? Did I have that mindset during the fight? No, not really, because, you know, anything can happen when you get squished. And there's where the frustration comes in mostly, is when you think you have something clinched, and it just backfires in your face. And more times out of many, that's when you get cocky, whenever you get confident that you're about to take this battle, that's when you're not going to do so hot. That's when you're going to make a mistake. That's where he's going to throw an unpredictable move at you, and you're going to get, you know, KO'd and knocked out. So, as you can see, even though I'm whittling him down here, I'm always shielding up, I'm always backing off, and I'm only attacking whenever he does that magic attack. And this basically just it doesn't ensure victory, but it definitely doesn't help him very much at all. As you can see here, we're actually getting looks like we're down a little under 1/4 health for him, and we're actually doing a pretty good time. I actually still have 3 flasks yet, which means I haven't even taken too much damage. I think one of the flasks was definitely used to recover from the fall damage from the very beginning. So as you can see, this method actually works out decently well. And I don't even get hit that much, but it definitely helps to have that crest shield pulled out on the off chance that you do get hit, because that'll block most of the damage. If you don't have the crest shield, that's a couple points in this video I did get hit without the shield taking that magic attack damage, and it knocked my health down all the way maybe to 1/8. And if you stagger from that and he hits you again, that's the end of the match. So as you can see, I'm not even right now, even in these kind of closing moments, I definitely am taking my time. I don't want to rush in and get stomped or anything. There's going to be a couple moments up ahead here where it's like, I really could have just finished this off, like, right then. I could have ran up and just smacked him a couple times, but what if my last hit, before it, hit him, and I just land it, and he gets me with the magic attack, So it's definitely not time to get too cocky. And so even right here, I could have tried to go in for that final hit. No, I'm going to back off and go in for one more try. So there we go. There's our hard-earned victory. Hopefully this video kind of encourages you to, take your time. Don't rush these boss fights. I basically mosquito bited this guy down, drained all his blood, if you will. And I won. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, guys. And we'll come back next time and start from around this point. So see you then. Bye.